Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach here with Triple Take Podcast. Welcome back. Today we've got some news to get through. We have 4 badass trailers. We've got Logan as our movie of the week, and we also have a hell of a discussion topic. So stick around, check it out. Thanks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Triple Take Podcast. I am Jacob. With me, as always, Lance and Zach. Hello, how are you?
I think Lance deserves a round of applause.
Attendance. It's like,
you know what? You know what they say, man. Like, you have to bring the money for the talent to show up. And
we did not pay
today
him.
They came through.
He has received no money, no favors. It's like we need one of those like at a warehouse or like a distribution center. It's like 0 days without accidents or whatever. Weeks without Lance, or something of that nature.
We could definitely have more than 1 day in a row with no replied texts.
Yeah.
For those of you who only look forward to me, which is a majority of you, I do have some disappointing news.
Everybody wants to listen to a guy
Anyways,
who talks like this.
The disappointing news is that I will not be on next week. So, but after that, you get me every week for the foreseeable future.
Stripes will not be here next week, but Stripes will be here the next week and the next week and the next week.
And I think I'm going to start planning my outfits to just be striped outfits so I can lean into it. Like
do you
different
have
stripes.
enough shirts?
I'll just rotate through like 4 striped shirts.
Before this guy brought a shirt that he didn't iron, he had a polo on, and so I was like, damn, we have to have an intro about the polos or something.
We both look like golfers.
Yeah, welcome back to Triple Take Podcast, the show with a lot of callers.
Welcome back to Triple Take. I am your safari leader,
Yes,
Jacob.
I was going to say you look like Jack Hanna.
Jacob looks like he's going on a safari or catching animals at Jurassic Park. One of the two.
Yes, I am a crap brother. Yes. So, a lot to get into this week. Captain America: Brave New World. We're getting that next week, 2 weeks from now,
May 28th.
on Disney Plus. So if you have not watched that steaming pile of mediocre garbage, you're gonna be able to.
He can't actually say that. I don't even think he's actually seen the movie.
No, I have. Remember, I told you I rented it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I complained about how much it cost because the movie was bad.
Did you actually rent it or did you buy it?
No, I rented it.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give him an extra $5 for a movie I'm never going to watch again.
That's fair. I went to watch it last week and then it wasn't on there. I kind of just assumed that it was on there already.
It was fine. I fell asleep halfway through and had to rewatch most of the movie.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Just
kind of
a real
bummer.
big fuck you.
Yeah, really. It was just
Not even
generally speaking, very boring.
Yeah.
I did not think it was that interesting.
Well, you said Red Hawk is in it for like what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, I like the other Captain America guy that got the super soldier, Isaiah Thomas. Is that what it is? I really like his stuff.
I don't know if his last name is Thomas, but his first name
Isaiah
is
Bradley.
Yeah,
That's
Bradley.
what it is. Isaiah Thomas. That sounds like an NFL player.
He was actually a pretty good character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he was good in the movie too.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like he sets off the big plot. He gets the ball rolling.
Oh, big brain. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's not a steaming pile of garbage. It's like I get a 7.2.
Wow, that's high. I would only go like 6.3.
Okay, I don't go 6.1.
No, you can't take it back just because I know movies better than you.
I did think that maybe I overestimated.
Nope, too late.
Okay, it's fine. But yeah, so look for that. Or don't. Not really. Don't care. Marvel Studios eyes Jake Schreier.
I think it's Schreier.
Schreier. We're gonna go with Schreier. For an X-Men reboot. And he is also going to direct.
No, he was the director of Thunderbolts.
Gotta be honest, these notes here make no fucking sense.
Okay, first
the
of
way
all,
that
the note reads Marvel Studios eyes Jake Schreier for X-Men reboot, and then I put dash. He directed Thunderbolts. I have a hot take for you.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with my 8 out of 10 review for Thunderbolts, but I don't think that it would be getting the praise that it's getting right now if Marvel hadn't given us like 4 years of dog shit.
Yeah, if we were coming off like Endgame, Infinity War stuff, and then we got this, I think we would be what the hell is this?
Yeah, 100%.
I have a hotter take for you.
Oh God, the show with hot takes and even hotter wings.
Does it involve you watching the movie?
This is Thunderbolts not relevant so far.
Let it rip.
Okay. I do not want to see any more X-Men movies. I'm done with them. They came, they went. I'm good. I don't need to see them. I'll watch them if they come out, but I feel like there's much more interesting paths that they could take that aren't retreading the same path.
Let me just say one thing, and this is, it's just truth. You have to get the X-Men involved because a lot of these like big Marvel villains are actually mutants.
Okay, but here's the other thing, right? They have a ton of paths that they could go down that they haven't even explored at all yet, right? Like, what if they just bring Scarlet Witch back and have that as a giant?
It was confirmed that she is officially dead.
No, I know it was, but like,
sure.
As the next big bad, like you're telling me people are gonna, like people would want to see that more than a lot of other stuff. I feel like you get to see this hero turned villain. Like,
I feel like they tried that in a TV show and a movie, and it didn't really work all that great.
Yeah, those are just fairly uninteresting to me.
I like both of them. Don't get me wrong.
Good gone bad,
but
just don't care.
You wouldn't want to see Scarlet Witch as the big bad?
No, we've already seen that.
I'm saying like big bad.
She kind of was. She killed a bunch of X-Men already. She killed the Illuminati.
Yeah, but like
the big bad. She was the main villain of Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, but I want to see her like snap. I want to see her Thanos people. Like she only killed people outside of our main universe. I want to see her rip apart Captain America by his head. You know what I mean?
She came after Kamar-Taj. Like she already tried that. They shielded against her, and then she like window like mirrored her way in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did that already.
Okay.
My only point is that they, in order to get to like the next like truly big bads in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is you have to bring in X-Men because you have to use the word mutants, and if you don't use like the core lineup of X-Men that we're used to, you're not gonna be able to get there.
I mean, I guess that's fine, but like make it a TV show. Like show us something new. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of retreading.
They do have more X-Men 97 coming out.
Mm-hmm. A new season of that.
A new season, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me feel like I'm back in like, my bed when I was 12 years old watching this shit for the first time.
I was being born, so I did not watch it.
Okay, well. Babies.
Good to know. Good to know. Oh, yeah, so that's cool. I think, don't get me wrong, I think that that Jake Schreier is a good director. I think he did a great job with Thunderbolts. I don't think attaching him is going to get other people in the seats, maybe? I don't know. Do you?
Like
is it a selling point?
No, I think it is a selling point because it's like, hey, this guy did a phenomenal job compared to the last like 4 or 5 movies that Marvel's released. And so it's like, if at least we're going to go in the right direction, like he is the right direction as of right now.
It's just a little disconcerting because I think the mindset like corporately is like, well, yeah, he can't do too bad. He can't do a bad thing like again. Yeah. He can do a good and then a good thing. I don't know.
Well, I'm afraid that he's going to get like, okay, so like you have like the Russo brothers treatment, right? Where it's like they only bring those guys in when it's like they know the movie's going to fucking be awesome. And so they don't use them for the Miss Marvel.
Well, I think some directors are better at kind of dealing with a lot of overarching storylines. And where, I mean, Thunderbolts is a pretty straightforward deal. They had a lot of characters, obviously, but I mean, the whole premise of the thing was pretty one-dimensional.
That's where I would go, though. Like, he showed that he can do a good movie with a lot of characters. X-Men, you're going to have a lot of characters. I think it's more just, he balanced well those characters, so they want to start that off on the right foot by at least exploring all of those new characters well. Whether the movie itself is, like, fantastic, it doesn't really have to be. It has to set up those characters for the future.
I think it's probably good for him and for, I guess, probably us as well, that he clearly worked well enough with Marvel and Disney to come back for a second one. Yeah. So clearly he liked it, liked the workflow or whatever or what have you. I think that's generally speaking pretty good. Hopefully we get a good movie out of it. I would love to see another one.
I wouldn't.
Would you, Lance? Would you love to see another Thunderbolts?
I'd like to see the first one, but yes, after that, I'd like to see a second one for sure.
I think at this point, Marvel probably is like, hey, we have a winning formula here, and they don't want to just go out of their way and say that it's because like Thunderbolts was less woke than the last bit of junk that they've come out with. So they're just going to put it on the director. And it's like, maybe that director just is less woke. Like, let's just say that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think it was less woke though. It's like
I know the big portion of it was like mental health, right? But I don't really think that was heavy in the comics. So like I didn't feel like I was pushing an agenda like a lot of this junk was.
I don't disagree. Yeah. If anything, it was pushing.
I mean, it didn't have Anthony Mackie at the very end like giving a heartfelt weird speech. You know what I mean? Like he did in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people want that. I don't think I'm one of those people, but
Do people want that?
I think some people want it.
Give it to me.
So
Giving speeches?
Worst guy ever.
Give it to me.
But yeah, so let's we'll see what comes out of that. AMC cut a bunch of movie prices, specifically on Wednesdays, 50% off tickets for Wednesday showings.
Is it going to get butts in seats?
Who's watching? Unless there's a new release or you're watching something like a week later, I don't know that this is really like I don't think that's that enticing. I don't know why it was such major news.
Is it like signaling like a serious problem in the movie industry that they're just like, hey, we have to do something crazy here to get people back?
Give us your money.
I don't know that it's that crazy because they already do it on Tuesdays. So
That's what I was gonna say. It's like
adding another day, but
they have like a happy hour.
I think if they really want to get more butts and seats, the ticket to that is probably going down like they already have the A-list route, right?
Mhm.
But maybe shortening that up, cheapening that up. Hey, $14 a week gets you 2 movies, or
a month.
or yeah, $14 a month gets you 2 movies, and then you're just banking on that January, February, all those slow times that those people aren't going to show up.
What does the AMC like pass thing cost now?
22?
Yeah.
22?
There's
Month?
a couple different
That's
tiers.
not that bad at all.
No,
Is it
And you can see how many movies a week?
3?
4.
Oh, did they bump
Four
it to
now.
4? Yeah. I
4
forgot about
movies a
that.
week for $22 a month.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that includes IMAX. That
Holy
includes all
cow.
the bonus. I mean, yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah. If you're going to the movies a lot, I mean, why wouldn't you get that?
I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can even cheapen that. If you can do 22 for 16 movies a month,
Mhm.
essentially, like $14 for 2 movies a month. Like, that seems like
I think that speaks more to how much little money they make on tickets than they do in concessions.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
Like,
they
just find a
want
way
you to show up.
Yeah, just find a
Well,
way to get them to show
They
up.
probably backed into like their like baseline operating costs, and they were just like, "Hey, we have to sell 100,000 tickets on Wednesdays to cover like if we have one guy just handling tickets, one guy at concessions, and one person doing like maintenance or cleaning.
I think
Like
that
that's
actually
going to
maybe
cover
they
the
have,
cost of that."
from what I can tell, they have one guy during the week doing everything.
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah.
like a Dollar General.
Yeah.
Like you go in there and you like it's a ghost town, but then
Yep.
you go in the theater and you got like 5 or 6 people. So, yeah, honestly, I think we're probably all in that same realm. I love watching a movie by myself. I love going in and
Mhm.
having theater mostly to myself, and it's like 2:00 on a Thursday. Love it.
I've always wanted to go into an IMAX movie where we get to pick our seats, right? Me and a couple, and just plop myself down
Right next to
right
him?
next
right
to
next to him. Me and this random couple are really going to enjoy this movie right now. Is there? This is a question I wanted to ask you guys. Is there like a limit to how much the tickets would cost for a movie for you to go see it? Like I know, like right now,
Oh,
like
yeah.
IMAX is like $15, right? And like, okay, is that too much for a movie? Yeah, I think so. But is it going to stop me from seeing something? No.
I think
But, like-
now they're like aggressively pricing the tickets so that you lean into their like deal, like the monthly stuff, like the A-list and stubs and all that stuff. I think it's sort of a kind of a mind play there.
It would take for sorry, I'm answering
No, you're
your
good,
question.
you're good.
For me, like if I'm really excited to see something, I'd probably pay $50 to $100. But I'm not going out of my way to
That's way
watch.
too- $50 to $100. I'm thinking.
I'm
like,
not saying it's
yeah.
reasonable, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
if the new Avengers movies come
Oh,
out,
yeah, I was
I'll
gonna
pay
say-
$100, $200 to go see it. Sure, but
I'm
if
just thinking.
I'm
back
not
to,
going to sit down to watch Sinners for that, and I would have missed out on it. But I wouldn't have.
when I
You wouldn't have. Like now
No, I
that you've
wouldn't
seen
have.
it, you would have. But
Yeah, probably.
$50 to go watch
when I
that?
think
No way.
when I think like ticket prices, I think okay, like a live music concert show would be like $150 max. I know I'm not paying more than $150.
Yeah,
right?
I think those are outrageous.
If I think
as well.
Yeah, and when I think like I just paid, I saw John Mulaney a couple of years ago. I paid 104 for tickets for that, so I'm like, okay, between 80 and $100 for a comedian, that makes sense. And then for movies, I'm like, okay, $15 is aggressively priced, still, but it's only if you're buying for yourself. If you're paying for somebody else, then immediately doubles. But like
Right.
between $30 and $40 is as far as I'd go. And even then, it's like I
don't feel good about it.
I don't feel great about that.
I gotta think back though to like Infinity War, Endgame, when those were like the hype was just insane. The vibes were
Or
immaculate.
the first Star Wars.
I would. 2015, I'd pay $150.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
if there was like 4 opening night showing at like 7:30, I'm probably paying upwards of $200.
Hear me out. What if theaters tried the pricing structure where it's like, okay, opening night is more expensive than
after that? Well, then I think
I don't love that, but hear me out. Okay, opening night, the diehard fans are going to pay another couple bucks per ticket, right? And then you price your tickets so that like the seats in the middlemost seats are more expensive, and your seats on the side.
They thought about doing that, and now you're the corporate greed.
It's not.
Boo that man!
Okay, I'm sorry.
Gosh.
I'm thinking about how to save the movie industry right now.
It comes with the territory, dude.
It
It reminds me of
Roast him.
Okay, there's an airline, major airline,
Ryanair, where they stand.
They stand, yeah. He's like, the standing cabin is like $1 a piece, and we sell out of those first.
I don't think that actually has happened, but he's like pitched it.
He's pitched it on like Reels or whatever. I caught it.
Yeah, because people, Reels.
But hear me out. Okay, if the centermost seats are like $100 a piece, and the outside seats are like $6, those outside seats are getting sold first.
You, Zach, are a dirtbag for even suggesting this. You are a complete
Roast goggles in the
dirtbag.
comments.
It's Windows.
Roast windows in the comments.
Or Jew. Get it right.
Jesus. So I mean, didn't they kind of talked about doing that? AMC, I think specifically,
and then
people were like
roasted the crap out of.
I do think it is like movies to me are like, it's for the people. Movies are for the people, and if it's not, I mean, $15 for an IMAX, I think is kind of what you're already talking about. Like to watch it in a typical digital, like Dolby, whatever, and it's like $12. I think that is fairly attainable for most people.
I'm not going to be very popular on this podcast. I can feel it for this one specifically, but okay, I'm going to relate it to this. My favorite kind of bars to go in are dead bars, right? Where it's like me and like 3 other fucking dudes in there just sitting at the bar. I like that experience more because it's quiet. I can sit and have my drink and it's very chill. Okay. But those bars go out of business very quickly because no one's fucking there. Right. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to save the movie industry, which is like movie theaters have to make money because that's really where these things are going. If you want to keep the traditional like spend the same, you have to work on some way to get asses in seats.
Here's what you do. They're doing that passes. You make cheaper options for passes where you get more people in like that. Oh, I only want to see 1-2 movies a month. Okay, $12, $14, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah, I don't think tiers are a bad idea.
You need to start adding better concession deals, like for the more you buy. So let's say, like right now they have 2 pops and a popcorn might be $19, whatever. Well, if I want to bring a whole crew with me, let's have 6 pops and 4 large popcorns, and that's $45. I mean, popcorn is essentially nothing. Like all you have to do is get people to buy it. The cost is minimal.
If we don't want to go down this route of like trying to change the pricing structure of a movie theater, then we have to like have like a realignment of how much it costs to make a movie. And so that means that like the big stars are not making $35-40 million.
Well, you know what would help with that? 100% tariff on movies made outside of the U.S.
Yes, it would.
Thank you.
Bring back American jobs.
I think that they're kind of going like there's one of 2 things needs to happen to make more money. Ticket prices have to go up or concessions prices have to go up. And if ticket prices go up, you want better stuff. Seats, larger screens, more showtimes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If concessions prices go up, you want better quality food. You want more of it for whatever you're paying. Or like we're seeing right now, you get the souvenir stuff. Like the Vader helmets, like with the Revenge of the Sith re-release. You had the really weird Dune sandworm that may or may not have been sold in adult stores. You know what I'm saying?
There's a third option. You said there's only 2 options. There's not. There's a third option, which
What's
is
the
just
third option?
Get more people to buy more things, like buying more tickets, being there more often, buying more food. That's a third option that seems like pretty doable, right? Like, let's make more
capitalist,
big business
guy.
Let's make more movies. Let's add more deals to buy the food. It just makes sense to me. Okay. Let's add more options.
If you want to,
if you want to go down,
arguing the same thing.
No.
I said if you want to raise the prices of food,
no, I don't want them to raise the prices.
So you want more
food.
For less?
Yes, but I want people to buy more. So I want let's say, okay.
Here's what you do. You put a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General or whatever dollar store is in your area right next to a theater.
No, that's a horrible idea.
And then people steal it.
No. What I'm saying is like, we already have a subscription-based service for that. Why not add a subscription for popcorn? Hey, here's
They have that. They literally have that. You buy the bucket and you get it refilled for like $3, $4.
That's what I mean. But here's a different option, right? Because you're
still
paying $4 every time.
If
so it feels bad.
If they do something for Bunch of Crunch, I'm there.
So yeah. So like, let's say $30 a month, right? You add that onto your A-list. It's kind of pricey, right? $50 then. But you get a drink, you get a popcorn every time you go, because those costs are very minimal on the drink and the popcorn, and you get, let's say, 2 pieces of candy each month. Mm-hmm, so you pay
your drink is like 6 cents cost, and your popcorn is like what, 14 cents or something, probably. So you're adding, and then you have to think about the price of the container, and that's another 4 pennies or something.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But you pay that $30 through the month. It's going to force you to want to be there more, and it's going to force you to pay that $30 cover price for the month for the food and drink.
But it's still, you still have to, I think, correct it at the very baseline, which is like, you can't spend so much money on the budget of the movie. You have to tame these budgets somehow.
I think we're missing a big thing too. Is like, as we get more people back in theaters, there needs to be some sort of, backswing to quality theater etiquette. Because I don't want to spend all this money. I don't want to spend $50 a month to get the tickets and all the food and stuff if the dude next to me is going to be smoking a cig and just screaming at his kid.
I've never had anybody smoke a cigarette in my movie theater.
Okay, I've had a bunch of vapors. I can tell you that much.
A lot of vapors. How's it going? I have had a guy light up a cigarette in the theater once, and it was the Dollar Movie Theater here in town.
Nice.
It was sick.
Which is no longer there.
No, it's gone. But no, okay, so the way that you back into that is that, like, okay, if you want to sell a burger and if I know that my end price is at $10, then I know that I can only spend $3.33 on raw materials. So the same thing that like movies are going to look at, like, okay, if I want a $15 movie ticket and I want to be able to make money at that, you work it back to where, like, okay, my labor has to be here, and then your actual budget for the movie has to be at this other rate that makes you money in the long run.
Sorry, I'm falling asleep.
Now I want to touch on one more thing before we switch off.
Go ahead, please.
Make America great again and bring movies back to America.
No. That's not how that works. But so you said, sorry, I need to gather my thoughts. You said that I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
You
I will say one tiny little thing about tariffs here. There's not going to be any real way to like actually tariff the movie industry, I don't think. However, Adam Scott was talking about this on a podcast not that long ago. It is incredibly more cost effective to just fly the entire cast outside of the country than it is to film. It was on
Howard Stern, I think.
Than it is to. It was on the guy that played Chris Traeger.
Oh yes.
What's his face?
Exactly, or something like that.
Yeah, something. But it's cheaper to fly out to a different to another country and film in Bangladesh than it is to walk across the lot in Las Vegas or Los Angeles. That's the problem. That's why these budgets are so fucking high.
I think it's
I remember my train of thought. So you said that we need to bring down budgets, and it would start with how much the cast is making. My fear is that would be the last to go. So we would be diminishing the sets. We would be diminishing the action, the CGI, everything like that gets diminished before. Like Robert Downey Jr., if we want him, he's not going to do it for $4 million. He's just not. But he might do it for 40, right? So we lose out on all these actors that...
what if we get better actors?
Well,
that would solve the problem.
What if we find better actors? So, like, okay, we say... we get all the directors and the film and the entire film industry into a room together, and we say, hey, look, we're all in agreement that we're no longer paying any actor more than $20 million for a movie.
I think
right. And then all of a sudden, those $40 million price tags don't exist for Robert Downey Jr. anymore. There's none out there, and so he has to accept $20 million instead of $40 million.
I think it's for me. It's like a restructuring of the contract thing. I think
it's a realignment.
It's a lot of it is like guaranteed money at the beginning. Like you sign the contract, he gets $50 million in a fucking plane or something. I think it should go back more to the performance of the movie. Like he gets cuts on the back end.
Yeah.
I think that would
And there are some contracts that do that.
Well, I think all contracts.
There's a lot of contracts that do that. And some more or less than others, right? So like I'm sure that in Tron Ares, for instance, I'm sure that what's his face?
Jared Leto's getting
Jared Leto is not getting as much up front, but he's probably taking, since he paid for the movie to be made, I'm sure he's taking the majority of the back end.
Well, like he's a producer and the lead.
And the lead, yeah. So he's taking a lot on the back end, though. But there's a lot of ways that you can go about this, but I think that there's got to be some kind of realignment. So cities have to incentivize movie companies to come in and make movies in their city, right? We used to have a lot of stuff that was made in Chicago and New York and in LA, and it doesn't happen anymore because there's no tax incentives. They all go to Bangladesh.
What? People are making movies in Bangladesh?
Yeah. Look at
Name one movie that was made in Bangladesh.
Most movies aren't made here anymore. I'm telling you.
I don't think they're made in Bangladesh.
Okay. They're all made like. Where does Game of Thrones take place?
Pinewood Studios.
Ireland somewhere, right?
No, but what's the actual place?
Oh,
Westeros.
Westeros?
Yeah, they're flying out to Westeros. They're getting it done.
Okay.
You know? Like,
Okay.
All right, let's get into the trailers. We're way
right.
off track
All
here.
right.
Golly, sorry everyone for that movie business class.
I'm not sorry.
Some interesting things, interesting trailers. Together, Dave Franco and Alison Brie, who happen to be together in real life. We'll play my words there.
maybe not
They love
after
each
this.
Who
I'd be
knows?
having nightmares, you know?
I watched that thing. Lance and I just watched it right before the pod. It was crazy. So like they
Might be a little too scary for you.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to see it.
they make out and then start like morphing into each other.
Yeah,
They're like lips.
I don't know that it's my kind of like body horror type
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't like
know
body
that
horror
that's
stuff.
Well, there's some
Like,
kind of like demon-y thing going on. I mean, at one point in the trailer, she like lifts off the ground and like her face is smashed against a window.
Yeah.
Maybe she's Superman.
Maybe. Or Brightburn. I don't know.
Oh, I like Brightburn. Brightburn was good.
I've never seen that.
You would like it.
It
I
does
heard
look
it's
like
twisted.
some
Yeah,
kind
you would
of like psychological slight thing going on, but then there's like a culty vibe to it too.
Like a Midsommar.
Not quite. Why are you looking at me and asking? You watched the trailer.
No, I'm talking about
Brightburn?
Brightburn. Sorry, I was going off.
No. Brightburn is like what if Superman, when he landed here as a kid, was evil?
Yeah.
What
You'd
am I
actually
think-
like
what
that
am I?
movie.
That's not what I'm thinking of. That's not the movie I'm thinking of. Okay.
Here, I'll show you. Real quick.
No, I know what you're talking about. That's not.
You should watch Brightburn though. I like it.
I may have to. That's not at all the movie. I
It's
thought you
the
were talking
Jonah actor from Ozark, isn't it? I'm almost positive.
I don't know, but
Yeah, it is.
we can move on.
No, it isn't. Yeah, so no, like the trailer looks scary. I'm probably gonna watch it. The like last scene is Alison Brie like taking a sawzall to
It reminded me of
like
that
his
one
shoulder or
that
something.
one scene of the guy that like puts his hand in a blender on the
Ooh.
chat room movie.
Yep, that's a tough watch.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Essentially, there's like this girl that gets bullied a whole lot and kills herself, and then her ghost like takes over people on they all hop on Skype back when Skype was a thing
Nice.
4 years ago.
What is that? What is that movie called?
I can't remember now. But
can't either.
it reminds me of that. Essentially, this girl's like ghost takes over, possesses all these kids, and
Unfriended?
they start
Yep.
they start killing each other or killing themselves on camera.
Ooh.
Hard watch.
Shouldn't
Real
do
hard
that.
watch.
Shouldn't do that. We also got Godzilla and Kong,
I'm
Supernova.
just gonna hold this. Sorry.
We also got Godzilla and Kong Supernova, like a 45-second thing. Pretty dope. We also saw some.
Hey, wait a second. You said you're tired of X-Men movies. I'm tired of Godzilla movies.
No way, dude.
give it to me.
I love giant monster movies.
Dude, do
I
you
got
remember-
Pacific Rim over there, but this is just as good.
Godzilla
I mean-
and Kong, like King of the Monsters. Do you remember when we would? That was in our like peak movie theater.
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
We saw that trailer at least 12 times in theaters.
Yeah.
And it was like, honestly, give it to me. Never Never got old. I love it.
Yeah. I'm a giant. I'm actually one of the first things I watch on my new TV, which got delayed. Come see you Friday now. But anyways, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. I didn't realize. I haven't seen it. I didn't realize they had it on Apple TV.
I love Monarch. Season 2's coming soon. I'm a Monarch believer. Okay. A lot of people did not love it. It gets a little bit slow at the end, but it's a huge payoff. And also the cast is phenomenal.
Today's a hard time with this cable. I don't know what it is.
What the heck is going on?
I don't know. Monarch was good.
I love Monarch.
Here's the thing. I like Godzilla. Don't get me wrong.
It's got Wyatt Russell.
I do. It does.
It's got Kurt Russell.
I do like Godzilla, but I'm not a huge fan of like the team up Kong movie. It's kind of strange. And it also for me is like getting away from the whole point of Godzilla in the first place.
What is the point?
He was a metaphor for like Hiroshima in Japan. That's the whole point.
You can only do that so many times.
Yeah,
what a loser.
It's giant monsters fighting each other. It doesn't have to have a backstory. It's awesome. And here's the thing.
Doesn't have to think at all.
They also
loves it.
I show up and don't move.
They also
I turn my brain off.
There was a report that they had actually talked about and are still considering a Alien Predator type style movie with Godzilla and that boy over there, Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
How sick would that be? Watching Godzilla fight giant robot monsters. Dude, give it to me.
I would be there only if Dom Toretto shows up and defeats both of them with family.
Yeah. Just like a 1967 El Camino.
Yep.
And
I'm there.
like a minigun mounted to the bed.
I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a thing that I really like that I don't have to think about. The John Wick movies.
No, I hate these. So it's not just...
We got a Ballerina trailer, and it's fucking good. Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves. It looks phenomenal.
It's literally just pew, 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 the whole movie. Like,
Looks like a John Wick 1 reskin.
Would you go as far as pew, pew, bang, bang?
Pew, pew, bang, bang.
I don't know what that means, but... John Wick movies are the most overhyped.
I don't think they're good
things in cinema. Like I watched John Wick 1. The only part of the movie that had made me feel any emotion was the flipping dog dying. We watched
flipping.
Did we watch John Wick 3 or 4?
Yeah, Parabellum. We watched Parabellum, and it was
garbage,
mind-numbing experience.
It was
don't
torturous.
Get me wrong. I like there's a place for mindless violence and just shooting and stuff.
But it's in giant robots.
I think it could be. Yeah, if they're not in a mech suit, I don't want it.
I'm not interested. All right, that's fine. Hey, we get to pick and choose. I'm not a huge King Kong guy, but I do love me some Keanu Reeves.
I think it's fine. I'll probably end up watching it because I like Ana de Armas.
And we do movies.
One small tangent I want to go on here for just 2 seconds. Constantine. How do we feel about Constantine?
Air high five right here, dude. I love Constantine.
Fucking love that movie.
Anything where they're killing demons and shit.
Keanu is on record saying that's the one thing he wants to do. Another one,
John Constantine,
and he's like, "I've tried it. No one will make it."
Yep.
It's
super unfortunate.
You ever seen Constantine? You'd love Constantine.
Oh, you would like it. You should come and watch it. I'll rent it for you. That's how bad I want you to watch it.
Yeah, you'd love the fuck out of that movie.
It's so cool.
Sorry, you'd love the flip out of that movie.
Well, so like he has like nah, I won't get into it. I'll talk to you afterwards about it. But it's so cool. I love like that old like mythology history shit and like it's just like it's so cool. I love it. And it's based on a comic, which is cool. And the cast in that is phenomenal.
The cast is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does one of the interesting things that I've never really thought about it. Like I always think, like have you ever seen Legion?
Yeah.
Where what's his name is he comes down as was he Gabriel or I don't know. He's one of the angels, and he comes down. And he's like, we got to stop all these bad guys. Everyone's mad. And then but Gabriel and Constantine is like this genderless. He's an angel, and it's I don't know. It's just like played by a woman, but isn't gender. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. It's very like one of the. I don't know. It's just a cool aspect of it.
It gets into some serious Bible lore, which is pretty cool to see it like played out.
Okay.
Yep.
It's better than the Passion.
I don't know if I agree with that. I like the Passion.
I do too.
But anyway, yes. So
they're making a sequel to that, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So what? I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. They actually announced that like 2 weeks ago.
No, yeah, it was like a month ago.
Real.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel I think is coming back. Well, literally, he is involved.
It's like making a movie about Einstein, but only showing him on the shitter. That's what Passion of the Christ is.
I don't understand.
It's just showing like the worst possible things of the whole Christ story.
What are you talking about?
Passion
What
of
are
the
you
Christ?
talking about?
I don't know what you're on about, man.
I said the Passion.
Yeah, the Passion it's the days before he's crucified.
I know, but it's like throwing away everything else that was in the story.
It's the hardest to watch, but it's the most important.
Yeah,
right?
it's it's like the climax of his entire existence.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Are we going to go back into Civil War times?
We'll get the prequel movies at some point.
You're arguing the point of a movie to me? Okay. It's all about the airport scene.
That didn't get the views I thought it was going to get.
That's because people are stupid. And people were...
insult the people you want to watch it.
I don't know what to tell you. People are stupid, and you cut it bad. All right? I'm going back in it, and you need to post this. Okay?
You know my favorite part?
No,
He cut it bad. When we were talking, we were talking about the most important scene, not to the movie, but to the MCU as a whole, which is the airport scene in Captain America Civil War.
How can it be the most important in the MCU if it's not even the most important in its own movie?
It gave us Spider-Man. It gave us Black Panther. It showed Ant-Man joining.
Ant-Man came a movie before. It showed him joining
the Avenger group, right? And it showed that break that needed to come back together for the Avengers movies.
It was a dude. It was.
You were on my side yesterday.
But I changed.
No, you just changed because
they made good points.
You don't like.
It's just sandbox like people like banging.
But sometimes
action
you just
figures
need
together.
That. It's a comic book.
Yeah, but it's not the most important part of the movie. The most important part of the movie.
It's not. It's the most important part of the movie.
How can it be the most important part of the MCU if it's not even the most important part of its own movie?
Because I don't know how to explain it to get it through your brain. Okay.
All right. I kind of have a feeling that mom and dad are yelling at each other right now, and I just have to sit here and listen to this.
We have a movie, right? We have a movie.
A movie? Wow.
But this movie fits into a big plan.
Where was it filmed? Bangladesh?
Okay.
We have
the big plan, right? You take the movie. You need to. You have a story. You have a story right here in the movie, right? It's closeted to just that movie. It doesn't go outside of it. But you have this scene that works through the movie to meet us in these Avengers movies later on.
You're digging. You're burying yourself. You're not even digging your own grave. You're like pulling the dirt.
Captain
on top
America: Civil War, the best or the most important and the best part.
No.
For the MCU as a whole is the airport scene.
Okay, so he just did my favorite thing again. Okay,
he
so
bangs his hand on the desk a bunch.
I just keep hearing pings. My favorite part of that clip was him at the very end. He looks directly into the camera and he goes, "It's the most important movie, or it's the most important scene going forward in the MCU."
Yeah,
and he talks to your soul. And every time I look at it or watch it, I think,
you know what? It would be a lot better if he actually had a fucking good point, or even a coherent point.
No, it is.
You're talking in circles.
I'm okay.
I like watching Iron Man go pew pew. You don't understand.
It has nothing to do with Iron Man. It introduces us to Spider-Man. It introduces us to Black Panther, who we're supposed to be.
That means then Avengers Battle of New York is the most important scene.
No, because we already met Iron Man. We already met all those characters.
You can say the same thing about this afterwards. The most important scene is Endgame, when Thor and Iron Man and Captain America are fighting Thanos.
No, this is the first time we've seen them.
So you're saying it's only important because we haven't been introduced to them. That's an absurd take.
It's only the most important because we haven't been introduced to them, and we get to see the split that has to come back together. People start working back together in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, right? We see this the separation, obviously.
It's not the most important.
It is. It just is. I can't argue with you guys, but you're both wrong. And anyone who agrees with them
I think the
is
most
also
important,
wrong.
Wrong. I think the most important scene of the MCU is whenever in Age of Ultron, when Tony gets infected or his mind gets messed with by Wanda, and whenever they're on that mission at the beginning of the movie, because that sets his course for the remainder of his life.
Yeah, that's when he started deciding that he's going to build a suit of armor.
Yes, he's going to protect everyone. He's essentially, it's like Anakin having the dreams and the visions of Padme dying. All he wants to do is to save that and save her.
And you can make that argument, right? But our argument that we just had that week was which of those two scenes were more important to the MCU as a whole.
We were talking about the movie, and then you were like, "Oh, you know what? I think this actually is the most important scene in the MCU."
Go back and listen. I have receipts. Go back and listen.
Nah. Anyway,
hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme is in a movie, and he looks terrible.
Yeah. I thought he was dead. To be totally honest,
I thought he was in a chair somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, The Gardener with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Michael Ewan. Ewan?
It just looks
Whatever.
bad.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm not gonna watch it.
It looks very cheesy. Almost to the point of like the Expendables movie was a bit worse.
Mhm.
With worse graphics.
And less cool people.
And less cool people.
It's like he was. I think what happens here is what happened was Jean-Claude Van Damme was pissed he didn't get to be in the Expendables.
No, he is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's the bad guy in one of them.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I don't watch him.
He does the splits and does kick somebody. He like does the splits and pow.
Yeah, really the only thing that I want out of The Gardener is for Jean-Claude Van Damme to, do the splits and kick / punch someone in the nuts.
Here's what I'll say. If you have Jean-Claude Van Damme in a movie and you don't have Rick Moranis in there or Chuck Norris,
Not Rick Moranis. I was making a joke.
it's fine. Anyways, my point stands. I don't know who Rick Moranis is. But here's my point. If you don't have Chuck Norris in that movie, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
You don't know? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Okay. All right. Sorry. I know who Rick Moranis is. Spaceballs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dark Helmet.
Yeah. I totally get it.
I love that movie. Yeah, not watching this piece of flaming hot garbage.
Hey, you know it's 45 minutes late? Never mind. 15 minutes late we are. Hey, movie of the week.
Yes. Movie of the week this week was Logan.
It was my first watch.
Yeah.
Insane.
It kind of came up this week, actually. Yeah, yesterday when we last minute decided to watch this movie. That Zach had never seen it before.
Yeah. Point of contention
Wild.
with the group chat here. I don't know how many times I said movie of the week. What is it to you guys? And no one responds to it.
Yeah, because I was thinking.
Just a text back saying thinking, maybe. I don't know. That would have been nice. Anybody? Mike
But
Chuck?
we needed to start deciding on the movie of the week at this place.
Before we even start talking about the movie, I have a major beef to get through to you.
Oh, it was
Zach.
how I shit all over your...
Yes. So we started making lists, right? Like we do our articles and lists.
Okay.
And we have a whole website. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
TripleTake.com.
Go ahead and check out.
TripleTakePodcast.com.
The first thing you should read is my top 10 superhero movie list. And in the very one slot was Logan. And Zach said he read through number 1 and immediately dismissed my whole list a few months ago and
sure
had
did.
never even seen the movie.
I still do. And I know it's not better than Endgame. But here's the thing. Lance came into this whole thing and wrote like 4 articles and then checked out. So... Okay.
I'm a busy man.
Okay.
Hey guys,
I'll be right back into it.
if you haven't followed us on Twitter, which you probably haven't because it's inactive because that was Lance's job, please do so. Triple Take.
It'll be, give me
Actually,
2 weeks and we'll be
speaking
back
of
to
which,
grinding.
At TakePod.com.
I totally forgot to post on... I'm posting on Twitter now.
I love
I'm
that we're
not-
paying for a Bitly subscription and not fucking using it.
You were the Bitly guy. We could have just as easily posted it without
And
Bitly.
they would be ugly.
Bitly is not... The user interface is
It's
trash.
pretty not good.
It's not good. So when you click on the little plus icon, which is like indicative of I'm adding another link here,
This edition.
it doesn't put it in like the order that you've added it. They're in alphabetical order.
Why would you add multiple links?
No, you're creating a new smaller link. There's a list of all the links you've created so far on Bitly.
Oh, the app? I've never used that. The app.
That app is set to alphabetical order. So like if I add a Predator link, which I did, it sent it all the way to the bottom of the list. So I was
when
like,
you just go to the website, you just new link. I think the
website's better.
yeah, the UI on the website is
Okay,
pretty
well,
intuitive.
To be fair, I logged in for the first time on the shitter. So,
All right, well,
let's
get back to the movies.
Yeah, take a look at the articles. Triple Take Podcast.
I mentioned shitter only because your article was, the list was,
The list is fantastic. Logan is the best superhero movie. It may not be the best comic book adaptation, which seems to be the only thing that you care about is whether it's comic accurate or not.
I disagree.
It may
It's
not
pretty
be
good.
the most comic book accurate, and maybe, I don't know, I don't read all the comics, I'm going to be honest, but it's the best movie. If you separate it from superheroes, it's the best movie.
Standalone, yeah. I agree. I don't disagree. Yeah. No, I think it's really good. Yeah, it's really interesting, especially you said earlier that you don't want to see any more X-Men movies. I think if we do get new ones, it's stuff like this, like where
That's what made me not agree with this list more than anything. Was Joker was number 7.
The Joker is a good movie.
Another
It's not
one,
a great
standalone.
comic book adaptation. I realize that. But as far as a movie goes, it's great. The second one's horrible. No one's arguing that. The second one is a horrible movie. It's disgusting and never should happen. The first one is good. It has very little ties to actual comic book adaptations. I realize that. But as far as a movie, if you're looking at it solely as a movie and not as a superhero, it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Well, yeah, he's a super villain.
I mean, continuity issues out the ass, but my point is, this is my first time watching Logan. I was never a big fan of Wolverine ever, and I haven't liked him. I've never liked him in the comics. I haven't liked him in any of the other X-Men movies. He's just an asshole for the sake of being an asshole, and you could ask him to like, hey, can you move that glass of water for me? And he'll just like fucking bitch the entire time, but still end up doing it. And it's like, if you're going to do it, can you just like chill out for a
Dude's
second?
been alive for like 250 years.
Not that
He's
long.
going to be an a-hole.
Not that long, but you can't kill him. He's an asshole. He's got, I've just never been a fan of the character. And so when they said there's going to be a standalone Wolverine movie, I was like, I'm checked out. I could not care less. And also, I don't really love Hugh Jackman.
In this
So
movie,
sorry.
he's 197 years old.
197? What? That's based off the comics?
He was born in 1832,
He fought in the Civil War
which was in the 1860s.
with bone claws. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, in this movie though, however, nice. Great job, guys. We got
Yeah,
one over.
Wait,
on me.
slap hands.
Okay. In this movie, however, spoilers, he fucking dies, right? He is an asshole, but he actually cares a little bit. But he does say the one thing that I don't like, which is like, I never asked for this. And it's like, well, then fucking go somewhere else. Like, leave.
Yeah.
How many times on the other X-Men movies was he like, I'm not here for you. I'm here for myself. And like, he still continues to save the characters. It's just, I don't love his character.
Well, he's like,
He's a grumpy old man. That's what he is. He may not look it, but he's a grumpy old man. He's 197. You would be grumpy
the
too.
whole point of his existence, though, is that he's like good at heart, and he, at the end of the day, does care about the well-being of his like friends, whether he wants to call them that or not. Like, I
Right.
think that's
Like,
kind of the whole point.
do
It's like
you
the
know?
movie
I did
Angry Old Men or whatever it's called. You know,
No
what I'm talking
Country
about?
for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men.
No.
Oh, Grumpier Old Men.
Grumpy
Yeah,
Old Men.
there you
Yeah,
go.
it's like that. They're
Walter
good people at
Matthau.
heart, but they're
Walter Matthau fucking
bunch of
kills.
a-holes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's absolutely true.
I like his relationship with Caliban, and I like Charles and everything in there. I love that it's rated R, and Charles says fuck a few times. That's always fun.
I love the husband and wife dynamic between him and Caliban,
Yeah.
like talking about taking care of
The kid.
Charles.
Yeah.
He's just like, we need to talk about upping his dosage, and then he's like, I'm fucking trying. I only get as many drugs as they give me, and yeah, I don't know. I like that whole. Their dynamic is interesting because
Yeah.
it's like the least likely of them to like end up
Yep.
together, like in like this kind of post-apocalyptic.
They did leave it open for a sequel-esque. Is just that like
Just with X-23.
X-23 and then Caliban, they were gonna make a clone of him to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, he's really smart, great hunter. Save a sample, right? But yeah, the whole premise of the movie is that this is 2029. Wolverine has been poisoned by something. Charles Xavier accidentally killed the rest of the X-Men, it sounds like, and they're on the run because the government's pretty much shutting down all the mutants effectively now, right? So they end up getting they make a clone of Wolverine. They've been working on this Weapon X project. They've got a little girl named X-23. She does age, which pretty quickly, I might add, actually. They changed that, I would think. She's
Daphne Keane. You talking about the actress?
the actress, yeah. I mean, she's a little tiny little baby kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see her in
She's
X-Men
like 23
Wolverine,
now.
and she's definitely aged. But essentially, the whole thing is that he's trying to save this girl.
She's 20.
He's trying to save this girl, trying to get her to Eden, and they do mention like break the fourth wall a little bit that like she's read about Eden in comic books and she pulls up like an X-Men comic book and he's like, this isn't even fucking real. It doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah.
And takes her there anyways. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed my time.
My
It
favorite
didn't answer a
part-
couple things, but sorry, continue.
There you go. My favorite part is that Eden is just fucking Canada.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Make it believable.
Yeah.
Make it like Upper Michigan or
Justin
something.
Trudeau was just standing there waving.
Yeah, Adams County, Indiana.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound horrible, but Stephen Merchant kind of freaks me out. Like just him, he just kind of has a.
Oh yeah,
Just
he's
kind
kind of bony.
He's just kind of creepy looking. Like I don't
Stephen
know how to
Merchant?
describe it other than like he's who's he playing the movie? What's his name?
Caliban.
Caliban. Yeah.
Oh,
He's just kind of freaky looking.
Have you ever
as a
seen
human being?
him and Hello Ladies?
I don't think
That's
so.
the one where he's like,
It's a
I thought they're flirting.
Yeah, it's
he's
a comedy on it's a funny little watch on
Yeah.
HBO. But yeah, he's in that.
I've
the
just
whole-
seen the clip where like the gangsters drive by and they're like,
Yeah, and he's
with the
like,
finger guns, and he's like, ooh, he's like, they're saying they're gonna kill you. He's like, oh, what? I thought they were flirting.
yeah, yeah. It's
In his English
funny.
accent.
I didn't expect to see him in there, but yeah, it was.
No,
it was
I
fun.
mean, as far as he's primarily a comedic actor, I would
Yep.
say, right? And he
Yep.
plays this dramatic role very well.
does a great job.
Yes, it's actually very. I find it sad when he gets captured. Like he's like 20 minutes of screen time at that point, and
Maybe,
whenever Kato catches him or Cable catches him, it's Cable, right? What's the guy's name?
The bad guy? I have no idea.
I think it's Cable. Oh no, it's Donald Pierce, played by Boyd Holbrook. I guess I was just thinking of X-Men related people with metal arms.
Yeah, they're all enhanced.
Mm-hmm. I like the part at the beginning where he's just like, "I'm enhanced too." He
Yeah,
just,
but
like shows his little.
They all have robot hands.
Yeah.
just one of them.
Oh, and they're driving away from like their little compound, which
Yep.
is just a flipped over water tower.
Yep. Cerebro-esque.
Yes, yeah. One of the guys on the dirt bike sticks his hand in the car in the limo, and X-23 just cuts his arm off, and he's like, ah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a fun watch.
There's
I
a
like
lot
it.
of senseless violence in it, but I really
Dude.
it just like as far as senseless violence goes, it's pretty sensible.
The scenes where like, I mean, you're getting fucking Wolverine claws through your like jugular and through your skull.
Oh.
It looks great. Looks
It really
very good.
as far like, I mean, it's definitely rated R.
Yeah,
And it's not like a soft rated R. It's like it's very much
it is violent.
restricted.
Yeah, it is violent for sure. You can
Yeah.
tell from the very beginning. I mean, he gets like hassled by a bunch of punks, and he just rips them to shreds. Basically,
So this is based on the Old Man Logan comic run.
never read it.
I did a little bit of research about it before we watched. There's some things that I think would have been cool. I wish he would have had a hat because in the comic he has a hat, I think.
Says the hat guy. I really wish he was wearing stripes. But what can you do?
He does have glasses. Eh?
There you go.
I think he wears like a cowboy hat.
Windows
Yeah, he
win.
does. He looks like he's got the classic grovelly look, but then he's got like an Indiana Jones hat, which is kind of cool. And he's got
What's,
a trench coat.
So the whole point is that like something is poisoning Logan, right? And
He's
it's
sick.
preventing him from his healing factor kicking in.
Mhm.
Do they explain what?
Yeah, it's they don't. I don't think they outright say what it is, but it's a chemical in all of the food to get rid of the mutants. So like they can't eat any food in this universe right now.
No, that's preventing any new mutants from
No, but it's
coming out.
it's poisoning him as well, and that was my understanding.
No, so the way that I took it is that like they wanted to figure out a way to end random mutants from popping up, and they put a chemical in food to stop the random mutation from happening in like your genes. But there's something in him that's
Yeah, right here. In Logan, the character is ill because of the adamantium in his body, along with the effects of the cure for mutants, which has been introduced into the food supply.
okay. So those two things are like killing him
They're
together,
they're
having
getting
a
him to-
reaction.
Yes. Interesting thing that it's kind of a throwaway thing at the beginning. Caliban's talking about doing his laundry,
Mhm.
and he said, "I found that adamantium bullet. If you're gonna think about killing yourself, why don't you wait a week or something?"
Oh yeah,
He's just kind of so matter of fact about it, like clearly taking care of Charles and whatever the hell's wrong with Charles.
Yeah.
is affecting them deeply.
He's got degenerative brain disease.
Oh, essentially, it's Alzheimer's essentially
Yeah.
for a mutant guy that can kill everyone.
Yeah, the most powerful brain in existence with degenerative brain disease. It's like a nuclear warhead.
Yeah, classified as a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, and it doesn't really go into like how, but it teeters on the edge of saying what it is until obviously the inevitable happens here. But effectively, Charles ended up killing the rest of the X-Men in Westchester,
Yes.
PA.
Yep.
Whoops.
Gifted youngsters.
Yeah, he smoked them all. Whoopsie poopsies.
So why didn't Caliban die?
Why didn't?
Yeah.
He was like a tracker.
So was he like no, like why didn't Caliban die during that?
He wasn't.
He wasn't there.
Probably. Yeah.
No, it would make sense that like, okay, so they had their X-Men team, right? And so the only reason that Logan survived is of the healing factor. And so he healed faster than whatever Charles did to their brains, popped them all or whatever. He clearly healed faster. Because if you notice, like when Charles is having his seizures, this like, is happening and everyone's like unable to move.
His episodes.
The only people that are able to move during this scene is X-23 and Logan, and it's because of their healing factor.
Interesting.
Because that's what I took from it.
So like the adamantium poisoning, I don't think we've never really seen that because of the healing stuff, right?
I'm struggling with the whole adamantium and the food supply.
I think it's a combination of the two because like you need one, like you can't have them not together. So like if the food is poisoning him and it's lessening his healing ability, then the adamantium poisoning is really doing its work now. And I think they kind of like build off each other. That was my interpretation.
But also you see X-23, like specifically she's eating cereal. And then the main bad guy.
He's also 197 years old though.
Yes.
He's been around.
The main bad guy is Richard E. Grant, aka Dr. Rice. In his little opening monologue, he's like, we've put this chemical in all the cereal that you eat in the morning and all that good stuff. And like Laura is specifically eating cereal when she first meets up with Caliban, Charles, all that good stuff. So like, how was she surviving before she wasn't eating anything? And her healing ability is just fine.
I think that she was probably, they created her in a lab. And so they were probably keeping her alive for like research purposes.
They probably created her so she wouldn't be affected by the food and stuff. That's what I took from it. Like they created her as a weapon, right? So why would they make her capable of like being affected by that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
could be.
AI overview. In the X-Men film Logan, the adamantium coating Logan's bones is poisoning him. While his healing factor initially kept the effects in check, it eventually starts to fail as he ages, leading to his demise. This is significant. It's a significant plot. So it's the adamantium.
But it's also the food supply.
I'm going to go with it's just the adamantium.
It's literally not.
Respectfully disagree.
I disrespectfully disagree. I just don't think you know I don't think you caught it.
Screen Rant says it's just the adamantium poisoning.
Yeah, but the only reason that's working is because of the food supply. Because it's depleting his healing ability. I don't think they work independently, but together they kill him.
Well, at the very beginning of like when Logan became Wolverine, like his mutation was that he had bone claws, right? Yeah. And he had a healing ability. So when he was first in the Civil War fighting,
could not die.
He was stabbing people with these little bone claw guys. And then when they decided to go down the Weapon X path with
they fused the liquid adamantium to his bones.
Yeah, sliced his ass open and fused adamantium to him, and then that was slowly poisoning him. It's like if you ate a whole bunch of aluminum, too much of it, you eventually just get like some kind of poisoning from it.
I guess so.
I don't
think
know.
It's partially because of the food.
Hey, tell us in the comments who's right. I don't care. It was a good movie. I liked it. I'm gonna go with 8.5.
9.7.
Ooh,
9.7.
Huge.
I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's perfect.
I'm
going 9.2.
9.7, and that's your number one movie on your list. So no movies above 9.7.
Comic book movie. No comic book.
Yeah, that's on your superhero movies though.
Yeah.
9.7.
I see what he's saying.
What would you have put Infinity War?
9.
I was in 9.1.
9.3.
Oh, really?
9.2, 9.3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go 8.5. I think it was great. I just wish they would have went a little bit more into detail. Like, give me one flashback.
You see, I thought it was better. I actually liked the not knowing, like the mysteriousness from it. I actually thought that made it better. There was always a shroud of mystery. I don't know.
Was the understanding that this is a continuation of the Fox X-Men movies?
Yeah,
this is just
it's
farther
a
and
separate
farther?
universe, I believe.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
This is like
Pretty
X-Men
sure it's
X-Men United. Not Days of Future Past, but
I'm fairly certain it's a separate universe.
Yes, the Logan movie is part of the X-Men film series.
Yes, but is it actually part of the? Because they have like 3 different timelines and stuff.
No, all the Days of Future Past, all that stuff. The X-Men stuff that has been put out by Fox is all the same.
But they have different casts.
Yeah, they're younger and older.
hold up, I can fix this. The Logan movie is designated or designed for Earth 17315, so 17315, and then what Earth does the X-Men Xbox? Yeah, X-Men movie films is 10005.
I'm him, dude.
No, it
I'm
says,
him.
Nope. Okay, everything that I'm seeing here says Logan is a direct sequel to the Wolverine. Which they're all the part of the same thing.
We're looking at it right here.
It isn't. Yeah, I'm going to go with it's on a different Earth.
You're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Well, however, wait a second. Earth 10005. Earth is the Earth where the original Fox X movies take place. And then, what did I say?
Ask what Earth Logan takes place on.
So what I'm seeing here is that the
Yeah,
Days of Future
no,
Past.
fandom even says
It's a different.
17 through
It's
15.
literally a different one. Everything says that. You were wrong. It's okay.
But then the
Stripes
Deadpool.
was right, baby.
But then that would suggest that the
Disagree.
Deadpool Wolverine movie, Deadpool takes place in a different universe too. Because Deadpool is in 17 through 15 then.
What I'm seeing right here. Okay, so whatever.
I doubt
Whether
it's
I'm
in 17/315.
No, that's the whole thing is that Logan is the anchor being to
but
that
he
reality.
pulls into a different reality. Like
Okay, so I think
he
the Days
goes
of
to
Future
get Logan
Past is
from
where
a
it's all
different-
effed up.
Yeah.
I think the Days of Future Past is what messes everything up. So there's on the one timeline we have X-Men First Class, which takes place in 1962. Then in 1963, Days of Future Past. Boom, we have another timeline. So we have one here and we have one here.
Yeah.
So then on the original timeline in 1979, we have X-Men Origins, the Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst movie I've ever seen.
I love it. Then
What?
Wait,
it
is that
jumps
the
way far
no.
forward to
I'm
2000.
thinking of the one that takes place in like
That's the Wolverine.
ancient.
That's
Asia?
just the Wolverine.
Yeah, that one
Not
sucks.
ancient Asia. It's like starts in World War II.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That
but
one
then
sucks.
way forward on the so it goes X-Men First Class, X-Men Origins, then X1, 2, and 3, which is 2000 to 2006, and then same timeline, the Wolverine. What's that one? Whatever the hell the Gifted is, and then Days of Future Past ends at the end of this timeline.
You didn't say anything about Logan.
Yeah, I know. It's saying
Because
it jumps
not
off.
part of the.
No, but they all interconnect.
Okay, let's
No.
just. We're not.
I don't think
gonna
it's not
agree.
its own like separate thing though.
Yeah.
They all have some effect to this. I don't think they're
Completely.
all these
disagree.
timelines are shot off of other timelines.
Hold up. I think I have
This is what I'm
one
looking at right here.
thing that can fix this. Logan's license. And
What?
Okay. Did you not catch that? Logan's license he has it on the dashboard of the Chrysler. It doesn't say Logan on it. It says James.
grumpy old bitch.
It says James on it. And James is the God,
Yeah,
James Howlett is from Earth 17315.
So his.
This is a different it's a variant of Logan.
All right. If you
Well,
say so.
bang!
I hate this guy.
I just know movies, man. I
No,
can't
you
help
don't.
it.
You have
I
dog
can't
shit
help it.
tastes.
No. My takes are so above
All right.
the level
Did you
of knowledge.
did you
that
watch the movie
can
this week? I think
comprehend.
this is the 4th week in a row you
In the
haven't
movie
watched
Logan,
the movie.
Wolverine / Logan's limo is licensed under the name James Howlett.
Here's
This is the Wolverine's actually. This is Wolverine's actual birth name, though he is known as Logan in the films.
Ooh.
Here's the craziest part of all of this.
So
I didn't even watch the
correct.
movie, and I was still righter than you.
No, the timelines are all connected.
Yeah, I caught that.
They're
James
all
Howlett.
they're all in the same universe. They're all. Every movie plays off. Yeah, whatever, dude.
That's
You're
incorrect.
actually making me so fucking mad.
Because I'm winning. I can't.
No, it's because you have such a fucking
All I
kindergarten
do-
understanding of
all-
how this works.
No.
I just explained it to you.
Because you're wrong. You're just wrong.
They all shoot off of Days of Future Past. They are all connected to the same stuff. Have you not seen these movies?
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but you're wrong.
They go back in time and create new timelines. They're all part of the same collective film universe.
Yes, but you could make the same argument that that's the same as Marvel. It's its own thing, though. It's not the same character that you watch all the way up into that. It's not. It's a different person.
If you say that it starts in Days of Future Past and then branches off, though, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
This is the anchor point, and then this is what happens.
Yes, but you've got 8 Logans. You haven't actually seen this Logan do anything. It's a completely different character.
Okay. With the MCU as a whole, like we've to this point, we've just kind of built on like, we had Thanos, that was the big bad.
Yeah.
And we had like Kang was being set up as the next big bad.
Mhm.
And they're just climbing this big bad ladder. And I like the way that everything is going, especially with the timeline stuff. Like, is there gonna be a wipe? Is there gonna be splits? And like, what ends up where? How do they go forward and keep like the general viewing public interested? You know, because like at this point, it's just, I mean, it's a little more elaborate, but like villain of the week. You know what I mean?
The question is like, when do you get a reboot?
Yeah.
To me, it's less of a reboot, and it's more thin the herd.
Mhm.
Okay, leave the characters that you want to see more of, and you somehow, I don't know how you do it, but you close down to one universe again. Like you
Yeah.
bring it back to where nothing's coming in, nothing's coming out, and you keep it that way for a long time. Right?
I think we're kind of seeing the aspects of that already. Is like if you have this big bad like Doom and then like the Beyonder and Beyonders and then One Above All and all that shit. Like the other stuff that we thought was cool before becomes kind of inherently less interesting. Like the Spider-Man city level shit and like I don't know, the Daredevil stuff. Like I mean, that all has like a place. I enjoy the TV shows and I enjoy those street level things. But like I still want to scratch that itch with like the huge building up of like a big bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is this sustainable?
I think you're never going to really run out of like some big bads, but I think that like this list of like 5 that I've got here are like the reset level. Like if they ever needed to reset or they wanted to tell a different story from a different Earth or something, they would have to use one of these guys.
I mean, we're kind of already
call it a
seeing the
day.
effects of it now too with like where was Thanos during this or where was
Yeah.
Doom during this? Like
Yeah.
just we've spanned so many years of the MCU at this point, like what from like the 1940s
Yeah, what was he doing fucking around?
to like 20
Yeah.
current, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's just if these are such
Like, well,
important characters, where were they before?
yeah, where was Reed Richards when Thanos was around the last time?
Or Kang, where was Kang during 2012?
Where were the Eternals?
Where were the Eternals? That was a big thing when
They
the
did-
Eternals came out.
They did answer that kind of.
Yeah, well, they couldn't meddle in human affairs and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I think that's a cop out.
I actually liked the way that they broached the subject though. Is that like the Celestial that lives inside of Earth? Is it Tiamat? I think is his name. Yeah, Tiamat. He only he'll hatch out of the egg essentially is once you created enough like people power. So like once the
Yeah, he's got to eat them.
yeah you once the universe is teeming or once the planet is teeming with enough like energy from organisms, life forms, or whatever, then he hatches.
Mhm.
And then by Thanos snapping half of every reality, like people gone, it like reset that clock to 50% instead of 100%. So
Mm.
like that was the example that they used. And then when they snapped everybody back, they were like, oh shit, we're at 110%. He's hatching now.
Yeah, okay. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, that was like the
It's
whole.
been a while since I've watched Eternals.
I actually liked Eternals.
I did too.
I had no problems.
I want to see it. I would love to see a sequel to Eternals.
It's kind of a bummer that they've really put the brakes on that whole deal because I thought we had some cool. I mean, it goes back to your original thing or your thought, like what 10 weeks ago or whatever, like where are we're getting none of these payoffs. Where are all these characters they've been teasing?
Don't tease us if it's not going to happen. But it sounds like Thunderbolts is teasing something. Now, I don't get into spoilers because I actually haven't seen it, but it sounds like it teases into the next movie coming out,
wrong.
right? Which makes sense.
It teases
That's what we need.
You need to watch it like this week if you can, because I want to talk about it with you so bad.
I'm gonna try, but I also have games.
Don't just try. Do
Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Watch a cam rip.
Maybe Saturday if I squeeze it in somewhere.
Well, we're at the 1:30 mark, and we haven't talked about what we watched this week, and I would love to talk about what we
watched.
watched.
We still got 20 questions to end it on. But do you want to just mention the two?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And we don't need to go
so we have
deep in. But
the Beyonders, we have the Chaos King, and then the one that like just popped out, we don't really have a whole lot of lore on, is the last one, which you find out that the Beyonders stole a whole bunch of power from the Lost One, and then they split it up amongst themselves. And then the Beyonders, 3 of them kill the Living Tribunal.
Okay.
Anyways, we can go into that later.
All right.
Cool beans, cool beans.
Cool.
It was a lot to unpack. I think maybe we overestimated.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Underestimated.
Yep. Anyways, hey, what are you guys watching?
What'd you watch, Lance?
I watched Studio. All caught up on Studio still. I like it. It's nice. 30 minutes, easy to go, easy to watch. I always feel like it kind of makes me feel gross, but I think that's the point of the show. Like I'm uncomfy the whole time I'm watching it, but I think that's what he's going for. So I enjoy it.
I think we get a new episode today.
I don't know why, but when I picture you watching TV shows, I just imagine you wearing like footy pajamas and a hot cocoa.
No, normally I'm holding my dog.
Okay, I don't know
new
why.
Puppy. But
I did really like last week's episode because it was like they were bouncing around like the cast for the new Kool-Aid movie. They're making a movie about the Kool-Aid Man, and it's called Kool-Aid. And then a few episodes before that, they bought it from Martin Scorsese and then killed the project that he wanted to make, which I thought was also hilarious. And then, the way they're handling like actual real life things and then playing off of like tropes and like, I mean, like that's the whole thing of like taking this big, like it's like the Angry Birds movie. Like it's this game about birds knocking down little towers with pigs in them, and they made that into like a 3-movie franchise. Yeah. Like, and there's milking IPs for everything they're worth, and they're like, we're running out of stuff, so let's make a Kool-Aid movie. I think it's funny. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. 28 Days Later, watch that. Wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be going into it, especially with the way that the trailers portray the new one. Like that one looks genuinely like terrifying. And this one was not that at all. It was more like I don't know how to describe it. Like it almost was more like a disaster movie, but like post-disaster rather than zombie.
Well, this one takes place literally 28 days after the infection breaks out, and the main character wakes up from a coma.
Yeah, I mean, it just like the zombies weren't that scary. Like it was more the people in it that you were like freaked out about, which actually, I mean, is more interesting to me. Like like faceless zombies being scary. I mean, they had faces, but you know what I mean? Like just these hordes of zombies don't really scare me, but what happens to people inside of these, like kind of like The Last of Us, which I've also been watching, like the bad things that people do in the midst of this is the part that's actually scary to me, if that makes sense. So.
This is it. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but this movie takes place, I watched this movie like a long time ago. Mm-hmm. It's filmed kind of like a skateboard movie.
Like a 90s?
Yeah, where it's like, there's like that weird chase scene, like chase music happening, and like they've got a whole lot of panning shots that are like, they're on a movable camera or something.
It's filmed very weird. Honestly, like, I don't really know.
There's a lot of jumping through glass.
That's not really my, yes, there's a lot of like action scenes like that. Yeah, and there's also like there's like a cloud of smoke through the whole thing. Like why is it smoky the whole time? But I don't know.
I mean, how fast would society fall? The answer is about 28 days.
Yeah, apparently so. But
doesn't take much.
I enjoyed it. Like I'll watch the sequel and then I'll go to the movie and watch the new one. But it just wasn't what I thought. But it was good. I give it like a 7, 8.
Okay. So. It's on my list. Just got a lot to watch right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of TV that's out right now.
I also need to catch up on Andor, hoping to to do that this week. So
Good. Because I think our movie this week should be Rogue One.
I just watched it, and I'm happy to do it again.
the best Star Wars movie, and it's not close.
Nice. All right, so I watched Your Friends and Neighbors. I'm addicted to that show now. Like it's not Last of Us for me. Like I'm anticipating and looking forward to the next episode, but it's dang close. And especially after the crap that we've been getting with Last of Us, it might make the jump. It might leapfrog.
The only thing I don't like about it, I talked about it last time, is that for me the intro scene is just like I just skip it. So it's not that big. It isn't that big of a deal. But like, look, the intro sucks. It doesn't make any sense.
I skip all the intros.
Oh.
I always have.
Yeah, I admitted last week on the pod I'm 5 or 6 episodes in. I've never watched it.
Yeah, I've
like,
never.
I don't know who cares.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'd watch the Game of Thrones one.
But
Just to,
really
hear the
appreciate-
sound,
Shit's
but-
starting to hit the fan on this show, so I'm very excited.
I really appreciate when shows have like great intro scenes that
Like high quality.
explain what's kind of happening in the subplot. So like Game of Thrones, the castles that you saw in Game of Thrones on the map is like where the episode takes place. And then Severance, there's lots of little hidden details in the intro which like explain what the plot of that episode's going to be about.
I never noticed either of those.
Game of Thrones one
actually.
is not accurate.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't change every time.
Yes, it does. Just about. It takes 3 months to make one of those. You never actually
Yeah, I've watched those. That of all the ones that I have watched, it's that. I mean, it changes
Specifically-
every season.
No, the intro, I'm telling you,
Like
man,
the ice wall gets bigger and shit like that, and
was collapsed at one point when obviously the Night King's coming through. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, go back and watch a couple different episodes where they show the castle on the map is what's being shown in that episode.
what do you mean the castle on the map? Like
So-
it's like the 3D, everything's growing up and spinning and all that shit. But like,
Yeah. It's always a castle or a hold fast.
you're talking
or-
like the
city.
very first part.
yeah, the intro of every episode, the dun 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 dun. That
Yes,
castle.
I'm familiar with the
Okay.
intro.
It's okay. For instance, if it goes Winterfell, then the Wall, and then King's Landing, then it's like, well, that's where the show takes place this time.
They show them all every time.
No, they don't.
I don't know if I agree.
I'm telling you, go back and watch.
Maybe I will. I'll be wrong. That's fine.
What? And that's why everyone was.
for 2 today, big dog.
Hey,
Okay.
little-
No, I'm about to get into this shit because I have you proved wrong.
House of the Dragon, season 1, it let everybody down because it was like supposed to be bloodlines. That's why all that blood was running
Yeah.
through.
Mhm.
Anyways, continue with what you're watching. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm a big fan of dragons. I'm sorry.
I watched Andor. Man, last week's episodes were insane. I'm really excited to wrap it up, but also it's bittersweet for me because the show is awesome. Like they could not have done a better job. If they did do a better job, they should give Tony Gilroy a semi truckload full of money. It's some of the best TV that's ever been produced, and I don't know that it will ever get anything like this ever again. And it's a shame.
I
It's really
think
a shame.
I mentioned it last week, but it's almost like Star Wars went back to the drawing board a little bit, and they were like, let's make an HBO Max style Star Wars show, and let's make it a little bit so that like you can bring in a wider audience, so that if Lance didn't love Star Wars and he came in and watched it, he wouldn't be totally fucking thrown off by lightsabers.
It's a nice intro if you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
But like I said last week, does an immaculate job at filling the gaps and having a really well thought out story with something that already has a predetermined ending.
Mhm.
I mean, in a couple different manners. Like we know where he has to be at the end of, or at the beginning of Rogue One, and we know what happens at the end.
I love how they're connecting the dots. They're not really skipping
I
any
wish
time.
I could mention plot points and stuff. I would. I can't wait to break it down next week when you guys are all caught up and I've actually watched it. That's exciting for me. I watched The Studio as well. I always go back to Hell or High Water. I watched that this week. I love that movie. Chris Pine in that, phenomenal. Some of the best acting he's ever done. I also watched Two for the Money. I got back into sports betting, so I watched the the Matthew McConaughey and who else is in that? I can't think of his name. Al Pacino.
All right.
All right. He does a whole lot of that.
Yep.
Two for the Money. It's not that good of a movie though. Got to be honest with you. Kind of sucks. It's not very good. I give it maybe an 75. It's okay. It's watchable, that's for sure. But
You mean a 7.5?
it's definitely. I was going like Rotten Tomatoes. I give it a 7.5. I'll go 7. It's a 7.
Okay.
It's fine.
Your last movie here, I'm surprised to see it.
I So like I said, I got back into sports betting. I also got back onto
Poker?
I've been watching World Series of Poker clips on YouTube again. So I picked up Rounders again. I love Rounders.
Did you ever play poker?
I played poker. Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is addiction.
I was.
Nice to meet you. I am degenerate gambler.
I was
Jacob.
a big poker guy for a while.
A little while.
Is
this our third guy that we need to create our league?
Poker league?
Our poker night?
I used to have a house game every week. We played every week on Wednesday.
I'd love to take your guys.
All right, guys, the podcast is over. Henceforth.
I lost a lot of money in one night and stopped playing for a long time.
It's just like Rounders.
But I love Rounders. It's a great movie.
Rounders is so good. For someone who hates Matt Damon, though, it's shocking that you like that movie because he's the main character.
The movie is so good that I look past the fact that Matt Damon sucks so mumuch.
Yeah, Edward Norton plays such a good slime bag, like a slime ball sleaze dude.
Yeah.
His character makes me want to punch the screen because Matt Damon. I can't think of what's Matt Damon's character in that.
I'm looking it up.
I always just think of him as Matt Damon. He's just one of those actors that transcend his roles,
1998.
It's just phenomenal. It's so good. I love the movie. I watch it probably twice a year.
Edward Norton plays Worm.
Yes, he plays Worm, but who's Matt Damon's character?
Mike McDermott.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah. John Malkovich plays himself.
Essentially, but like a bad Russian.
Yeah.
He has the worst Russian accent in that movie I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good. I love that movie. It's
and John Turturro's in it.
John Turturro's in it.
Yep.
He's like the level-headed, like why you overextending yourself? Why you betting what you don't have guy, which is weird. I don't know. He's like I love his character in that.
Yeah. No, Rounders is fantastic.
No, love Rounders, and that's what I watched this week.
All right. I am caught up on Andor as of right now. I love Andor. I know 3 episodes drop in roughly an hour. So
you're caught up? You watched the last 3?
No. Sorry. Until an hour, then I'm caught up through 9. The last 3 dropped tonight, right?
You're not caught up. You've only seen 6.
No, I'm caught up. I told you.
So you saw.
Yes.
Close your ears for a
I'm
second.
on 9.
The Gorman stuff.
Yeah.
You saw it.
Yeah.
Why have we not talked about it?
I don't know. You've been avoiding me at work all week.
Avoiding you? Our office is right next to each other.
I don't know. No. Yeah, I'm all caught up. It is quite possibly
fucking crazy.
3 of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen. It's phenomenal.
Save it for after the pod. So
it's frustrating that we have a movie and a television podcast and you haven't seen the movies or the TV.
You guys begged me to come tonight. Begged, hands and knees.
And all you did was piss me off.
And all you do is
just wait until we get to 20
Finish
questions.
your stuff.
You guys were screaming. Okay, anyways, I watched Andor, Your Friends and Neighbors, big fan. I watched White Lotus, kept going with it. It's turning into like my TV show that I can kind of turn on when like I'm not fully paying attention. Mm-hmm. I like season 2 better than season 1. And the reason is because every character is a piece of shit. They're all terrible. Big fan of that. And then obviously I watched Logan.
Before we get to 20 questions, I have one more point to make about Logan and how it is on the same timeline as the Logan that we already know.
Okay.
In the Wolverine, the movie that you saw in theaters and made you hate superhero movies, Yuki at the end says that she sees his death. And it is described exactly as the death in Logan. It is the same Logan. Yuki's gone. All that stuff is gone. The Wolverine, that movie, that Logan, and Logan in Logan are the same character.
Okay, if that's your headcanon, that's fine. The true canon
it's not headcanon.
Of the story is that they're in different universes. Anyways, let's get to 20 questions, and we've got to cook one up here tonight. So, let's get them going.
I'm not Googling anything. I'm just going to have my laptop pulled up.
Okay.
Because I don't like...
For continuity, let's go, baby.
Okay, but I think we need to have a 10-minute timer because...
we do need to have the questions in front of us, though, just in case.
Pull them up.
We're not necessarily going to use these, but I have them.
That's fine. I tried to get one with less...
Also, every day for 2 weeks, we've said we have to go over the 20 questions.
We didn't do it.
And we never did it.
Alrighty, timer starts now. 10 minutes. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Okay. Is this do we want to start with adaptation or do we want to go with this as part of like some kind of universe?
I think we go universe.
Is this part of some kind of universe of cinematic something.
No.
Okay.
Is this movie?
So wait, to confirm, what you're saying is it is not a sequel or a prequel. It's a
Correct.
standalone thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this movie an adaptation?
No.
So what I'm to confirm, because of the fuck shit that happened last time.
Yes, for those
To
who don't know.
confirm, this wasn't adapted from a movie to TV.
And just to clarify, you didn't ask for an adaptation last time. You asked if it was part of a movie or if it was part of a
Pausing the timer.
franchise. Why are you pausing?
Resuming the timer because you're giving it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this movie live action?
No.
Oh,
Okay, it is not live action. So animated.
Yep.
To confirm, animated.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It is not part of a franchise or
Yes, so it's a standalone
standalone thing.
animated movie.
Standalone animated movie, and it's not an adaptation.
Correct.
I think because it's animated, I think we can hone in on that. Is this a Disney Pixar movie?
Like just specifically Pixar or
Okay,
Disney,
so I'm gonna
or
so
what? Like, be more specific here.
Is this a Pixar movie?
No.
Is this a Disney movie?
Oh wait, sorry. Yes, it is a Pixar.
Take back that other question, though.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
yep.
did.
All right.
Okay,
Okay,
it's
so we got a
Pixar.
Pixar movie.
It's Pixar.
Okay. Are the main characters animals?
No.
Oh. Okay, so it could be toys. I think we got toy. I think it could be Toy Stories,
Mhm.
or it could be Incredibles. I want to make sure that he knows if it's a Pixar movie or not.
It is Pixar.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Do we want to ask if the main character is a child? Or do we want to ask if the main character is like...
Well, it can't be Incredibles because that's part of a 3 series
And Toy Story is part of a series.
or 2 series.
And
True.
I'm thinking... My head right now is thinking Wall-E. But is that Pixar?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, do we want to go with like...
Are the
Does-
main characters?
Wait, do we want to go with... Does it take place on Earth?
Well, Wall-E does kind of take place on Earth.
No,
Yeah.
it's on a
Yeah.
fucking ship.
No, Wall-E's on Earth until he goes on the ship.
Do you want to say sci-fi elements? I think that's too broad.
Well, because the other one it could be is like Cars.
Yeah.
You know what? Cars. There's Cars 1 and 2.
Yep.
Just confirming the sequel prequel thing. There are no other movies. This is a standalone one-time adaptation.
What did I say?
Okay. Well,
Okay,
you can see
well,
where we'd be
Just
confused.
wanted to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Is the main character a robot?
No.
I was gonna say I thought I pulled it right there with Wall-E.
Okay, so Bugs. There's Bugs Life.
Ooh,
But isn't there a Bugs Life 2?
One of them has. Okay, there was the movie about the ants and the movie about a Bug's Life. Which
Just
one
Ask if they're people.
are the main characters people?
No.
Okay.
How many are we at?
6.
We have 6 left, or we've asked 6 questions.
You've asked 6 questions.
Do we want to ask if the main characters are?
Let's run through the Pixars. There's the dinosaur movie. There's the dinosaur one, The Good Dinosaur. There's Cars, Incredibles, Bugs Life, Toy Story.
You're better at animated than I am.
I'm trying to think here. What else we got? Moana,
But that's got 2.
and then they're not people.
Lilo-
You said they're not people.
They're not people.
Lilo and
Moana has 2.
Is Lilo and Stitch? Is that part of a?
No, that's just Disney.
I was trying to think of like relevancy because
What are
that's
you doing? There's Ratatouille. There's
what is this for?
Because I think I've got you guys beat again, so I'm excited.
Oh.
I'm excitedly tapping my fingers.
We've asked 6 questions. We need to ask more. Is the main? Well, it can't be Ratatouille because the main character is a rat, which is an animal.
Wait, no. We asked if they're people.
And he said,
He said no. We haven't asked if they're animals.
yeah, we did.
Did we?
That was like our 3rd question.
No, we didn't ask if they're animals.
Are the main characters animals?
No.
Yeah, we did. We asked that. That was like question 3.
You asked if they were robots.
No,
Yeah.
I asked if they were animals at the beginning. After we went animated, I asked if they were animals.
Oh, yep. You're right.
Take that question
You
back.
wasted one. 7.
No,
So sorry.
no, take the question back.
So we're still at 6.
Main characters are not a robot because Wally is for sure a robot.
Do we want to go time frame?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Has it taken place since
Say 5 years.
2020?
Oh, wait.
Yes.
There's Inside Out. There's
Inside Out 2, though.
Yep.
Okay, since 2020, there's been Inside Out and Inside Out 2.
Oh, wait. Oh, what's the Mexican one? I bet it's Coco. Is there, you said that their main characters are not people.
Correct.
That's, I guess.
I have no idea
for sure,
dude. What that is.
But if it's like some weird, like, are the main characters ghosts?
No.
Okay. 7 questions.
8.
No, we didn't let.
You asked 2020 though.
Oh yeah, we did.
He kind of waffled on people. Are they like? Is it Hotel Transylvania? Is that?
It's DreamWorks.
How do you pull these off?
There's also 3 of those.
Okay.
Yeah. I like anime movies. I guess I don't know. I can't think. Is the main character a dinosaur?
No.
Do we want to go if the title is more than one
Oh
word?
wait, is the main 2020? I was gonna say Brave, maybe.
No. Let's ask if the title is more than one word.
Is the title more than one word?
No.
One
10.
word title.
Okay.
Tangled? No, that's people.
DreamWorks also.
DreamWorks.
Also
Golly.
from like 2010.
Yeah. When did Brave come out?
2017, 2016, I think.
Can I check on that?
No, we watched it in high school. Don't check.
They're also people.
2020.
Wow, you guys got. 2
Are the
minutes
main
left.
characters emotions?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure it's not Inside Out. Yeah, we got 2.5 minutes.
We're on a time frame.
He
All right.
said it. It's a self-imposed thing.
It is good to have the time up, but yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do this in 10 minutes.
It doesn't have to be an ending thing then. But it made us go faster. That's the big thing. We were taking forever.
Okay, so it's a one-word title.
Yep.
It's not people. Did we ask bugs or it's not animals?
And Bug's Life was 2000.
And Bug's Life was way earlier.
Way.
Um,
At least 2000.
2020 animated.
So they put out like a movie a year. And I can't think of anything like, okay, well, let's go. So that's in the last 5 years. Fuck. I mean, I think we whittle it down to the year then, because I don't know if that's gonna help me.
I don't think it's gonna help me. I can't pull these off.
I guess ask if there's like sci-fi elements.
Are there sci-fi elements?
Would you consider sci-fi and fantasy similar genres?
Yeah.
Then yeah. 12.
Fantasy.
When was How to Train Your Dragon?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
He doesn't know
Also 3 of them.
kids movies.
I don't know kids movies.
I put this one all on you,
Yeah, you did.
and we'll see. If
You really did.
I pulled Sausage Party out of my ass.
You did.
Okay.
That's not
You
a
pulled
kids
sausages
movie,
out of your
though.
ass.
That's just an adult movie that's animated.
We just have to keep it under 2 hours. Is this a TV movie?
No. 14.
Wait, TV. We already confirmed that wasn't a thing though.
No, we didn't.
Like released to like fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I'm going to give you a giant hint here, and it's going to count for another thing. But
Okay.
it may have only released on TV, but that was for a very specific reason. Something was going on that everything was releasing on TV.
Okay, so it's during COVID.
So 5 left.
So what you're saying is like it's only on streaming. You're saying?
No, it may have only showed up. Like, you know how Black Widow was originally just on. It may have done that, but it was supposed to have a theatrical release, and it may still have. I don't know, but it came, I believe it came day and date with. So that's a huge.
See, other Pixar movies is Nemo, but Nemo has Finding Dory. And that's Finding Nemo, and not, fuck. And Dory came out before 2020, I think. The one word thing is screwing me up. And they're not people?
No, they are not people.
He said they're not animals, right? We asked if they're animals.
Wait. Are the main characters some sort of machine?
No. 16.
I was thinking like planes. Because that's also Pixar. But that's pre-2020. This one's hard. I really can't think. I'm like 2016 is really where my knowledge ends of Pixar.
I'm trying to think of what the fuck's even been out.
Like the last couple of years has been Moana, Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur.
Well, if you think about so you think about Pixar movies, they typically place like a toy or a doll of the next Pixar movie that comes out in the previous one. So like
there was Monsters University.
Monsters. Was there another Monsters Inc?
Yeah, Monsters Inc. and then Monsters University, but that's also 2 words.
And sequel.
Couldn't tell if you're trying to look at my phone.
Oh, no, I can't see it.
Which has
I can't see it.
Popped up on there. You guys got 4 questions left. And it's not looking good for you, boys. Would you like, I will give you a massive hint.
Okay.
For all 3. So you just get the guess.
For 2.
All 3.
Give me a second.
Okay. You let me know when you're willing to deal.
You said Moana is something else, right? There was another one.
There was 2 of them.
Is that the one that The Rock is in?
Yeah. He plays Maui, I think.
Boo.
What can I say?
I'll take the hint.
Okay. This stars 2 characters who are 2 of my top 3 favorite characters in the MCU. So, like, the people who play the MCU characters are the voices of these characters.
Oh, man. It's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. And the movie, I don't know the name of the movie. Enchanted or something like that. Oh, fuck. I know what movie it is now.
Chris Pratt and Tom Holland?
It came out in theaters, it came out during COVID, and it was dog shit, I think. They go on like a... Do the character... Okay, yeah, I'm out of questions. I don't know the name of it, though. Oh! Is the movie called Quest?
Is that your final guess?
I think it's called Quest.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's called... I think it's Quest.
The movie is Onward.
Oh no, that's what it was. I knew it had something to do with like a journey or something. Yeah. I knew the movie though, at least.
Yeah, Onward. You did. You got there. Yeah, movie was Onward. It was released. I don't know if it ever got released in theaters or not, but they are elves. So they weren't humans, but they also weren't animals. I
think this is 3 in a row.
And I'm getting fucking mad.
I'm just dominant. Have you've never even heard
All right.
of
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Give us a like, comment, subscribe if you like what you heard. TripleTakePodcast.com for articles. See you next time.
Bye.